and today we'll be looking at the use of word classes and phrases as part of your analysis for section B of the exam, and that's the language focus part of the exam, the second part of the exam paper for LG1. Now, I've started out by going onto the Moodle page for English Language AS and then scrolling down till you get to topic 1, which just gives you all of the different exam papers for LG1. And the one we're focusing on today is the gig review from January 2011. So I'm just going to click on that piece, bring it up again in the browser, and scroll down to section B, which is on page 6. It's the second part of the exam. Remember, the exam lasts for 2.5 hours. If you go onto the exam instructions, and the best practice is to leave about an hour for section B. So here is section B, and it's a review, an online review from the Music Fix website, which is a general audience music website. And the review's about the band 30 Seconds to Mars. Remember, the language focus is about attitudes of the writer to the band and the performance, and in particular the singer Jared Leto. So it's really not relevant to talk about the support act or any other aspect of the review. It really is just about the band and the performance, and you should start straight away in your answer to talk about that. So here are some words and phrases that are used in the review. The first I've chosen is "he thrills the crowd." This is in the second paragraph of the review, describing the moment when the band starts performing, the curtain falls, the band appears, and Jared Leto, the singer, becomes obvious to the crowd. So it's in the second paragraph and on line 15. So "he thrills the crowd" is a main clause describing the behaviour of the singer, when we've got thrills as the main verb. It's a dynamic verb, and you might notice as well that it's in the present tense. Like many reviews, this is taking us through the experience of being at the concert chronologically and showing us what it's like. And the review's written from the point of view of somebody who doesn't normally engage with the music, and it's written for an audience who perhaps may not know, and may be a different age group to the audience that would normally watch 30 Seconds to Mars. It's people in their 30s, 40s, who perhaps don't have much familiarity or understanding with the music. Very often in a main clause, you begin with a noun phrase, such as Jared Leto or the lead singer. But here, as sometimes happens in language, the noun phrase, Jared Leto, is replaced by a pronoun, he. And the pronoun he refers back to a previous point of the text, where the name of the singer is used. If you know your terms well for discourse structure, that's called anaphora. It's referring back to a point previously in the text. But the key point for us here is that a pronoun is used, and perhaps the use of the pronoun in itself shows us how significant this singer is as part of the performance, and how familiar the crowd will be with him. And the word crowd is used repeatedly in the text to show how the behaviour of people in the audience really is quite similar. They behave as a group throughout this performance. I'm going to look now at the phrase "he foolishly inquires." And you'll remember that in the third paragraph of the text, direct speech is used. And this really shows the relationship between the singer and the crowd, the way that he uses question and answer to engage the crowd. And the writer uses spoken language in the form of direct speech to show us again what it's like to be there at the performance, and to give us a sense of how well planned this performance is and how carefully the band and the singer work to engage the crowd. Does anyone have any requests? He foolishly inquires. Jump, comes the inevitable response. And we get the sense, reading the review, this is very carefully pre-planned. It's not just a bit of banter. It's a very predictable way that the band works to engage this young teenage audience. Going back to the quotation, well, the word inquires is used. And again, that word inquires is a main verb, but it's used in a particular way. It's used to link in to the use of direct speech. And main verbs like said or described that are used in that way we call quotatives. So the word inquires is a quotative, showing that Jared Leto has asked a question of the crowd. Again, the pronoun he is used in place of a noun phrase. And we've got the word foolishly. You'll remember with the ly ending, words that end in ly commonly are adverbs. And in this case, the adverb foolishly is used to describe Leto's behaviour. But there's a hint of irony there, because he's not really being foolish. He's asking what seems like a silly question so as to get a particular response from the crowd. So again, it shows how well planned the performance is and how easily the singer plays on the emotions of the crowd. Returning to the moment when the singer and the band first come on stage, we have the phrase, or the clause, "Tonight is all about the epic majesty," and I've chosen that particular phrase, "the epic majesty," to comment on. Now, very often in a review, although you might follow the whole experience of what it's like to listen to the music or to visit the restaurant, whatever the review is about, you start off with a summary of what the experience is like to help the person reading the review. And this phrase is no exception. We've got the epic majesty. Epic majesty is a noun phrase. Majesty, that abstract noun used to describe the impression the band creates, and the adjective epic, showing something about how impressive they are, and a little bit about the band's aspirations as well, and the way they like to present themselves. The clause it's taken from is "tonight is all about the epic majesty," and so that noun phrase, the epic majesty, is used as what we call a complement. It's following on directly from the main verb is. Returning to paragraph 3, the next phrase I've chosen is "the moment when the singer reappears." Now, reading the review, we're getting a sense of what it's like to be a member of the crowd. And there's this moment when the band leaves the stage. And this really comes as a surprise, both to the people in the audience and to the reader of the review. Of course, it's not accidental, it's very carefully planned. And as in a lot of arena performances, there's a moment when the singer appears in a different place. He has reappeared up in one of the boxes at the back of the arena. Now, at this point in the review, it's really important for us to understand exactly what it's like to be in the crowd. This comes as a total surprise. We're not expecting the singer to appear anywhere different. And so we've got two phrases used to go with that verb reappeared. And the phrases I've chosen are "at the back" and "of the arena." And those two phrases are used together. And both of them are adverbial phrases used to describe the place where Jared Leto reappears. The last quotation I've chosen takes us all the way back to the singer and his mannerisms, his behaviour on stage. He thrills the crowd with his relentless energy, throwing himself about the stage. So we've got that main verb, thrills, but associated with that behaviour and the impact that he has on the crowd is this clause that follows, throwing himself about the stage. The use of the participle throwing, it's showing that this happens continuously throughout the performance, that it's a performance that's full of energy. But also it's a subordinate clause, linking back to that word thrills. And it really shows you that Leto's behaviour is just part of the way that he has an impact on the crowd. That they associate his style as a singer with these sorts of mannerisms and with this very dynamic physical performance. So I hope that's been helpful to look at some words and phrases and how they have an effect and help to convey the attitudes to the singer and the band.